In theoretical physics, a perfectly clean mathematical reduction is incredibly tempting. When examining the phase geometry of a locked scalar vacuum, researchers initially identified a one-dimensional, three-state rotor. It was mathematically neat, and it immediately offered a set of highly attractive, simple predictions. But that elegance was a mathematical illusion created by over-truncating reality. The model was simply too small to contain the actual physics. The true low-energy space requires expanding into a complete two-dimensional phase torus. On that surface, a new five-dimensional manifold emerges. Under natural dihedral symmetry, this space perfectly organizes itself. The five states decompose into an exact mathematical representation, one isolated state and two paired groups. Expanding the geometry dismantled the early assumptions. The reduced model produced something beautiful. The full operator refused it. Within this newly established five-dimensional reality, the objective becomes finding a valid mathematical transition to connect the lowest winded states. The most obvious approach is to try to connect these states directly, but when the Hamiltonian is applied, the connection snaps. The direct matrix element evaluates to zero. The edge is missing. This is not a calculation error. Exact symmetries act as rigid, impenetrable filters on the geometric network, blocking any paths that violate the rules. A blocked path does not mean the physics stops. It means the rules of transport are far stricter than initially assumed. The missing edge does not close the destination, it changes the route. The space is governed by two competing mathematical laws. The first is K-parity. This is an exact involutive symmetry that strictly divides the five-dimensional space into a rigid split, three positive parity nodes and two negative. The second law arises because the interactions rely entirely on a relative phase coordinate. This means the diagonal momentum, or Q-charge, is perfectly conserved. Q-charge forces its own unique division of the network. It resorts the space into three completely different sectors, independent from the parity split. You have two completely different exact mathematical frameworks trying to organize the exact same geometric space at the exact same time. Then the catalyst arrives. A potential energy term associated with a 255-degree vacuum minimum locks the structure into a rigid asymmetrical angle. This lock explicitly breaks the K-parity symmetry, while the Q-charge constraint survives entirely intact. The balance is shattered, and the map of which mathematical routes are legal is completely scrambled. We are back to the core problem. We must find a valid transition between the lowest winded states, but now we have to navigate this newly broken asymmetric reality. If you test the first-order direct route, it fails. The harmonic content of the new potential strictly forbids a one-step connection. If you attempt a second-order two-step route, it also fails. A two-step transition violates the surviving exact Q-charge constraint. This chart plots dimensionless spectral ratios drifting as coupling increases. The dotted lines show early approximations breaking down at high coupling, but the solid lines, representing fundamental geometric roots, remain mathematically stable. The spectrum converged. The false invariant died. The root structure survived. A valid transition finally emerges, but only when you calculate a three-step path. This third-order route yields a precise survival coefficient of 31 over 36,864. That highly specific number proves the destination exists. But you can only reach it when the interaction finally yields to the deepest constraints of the geometry. This mathematical behavior defines a new physical principle, admissible route depth. The leading order of any physical transition is not determined simply by looking at the start and endpoints. It is defined by the shortest network path satisfying every exact constraint. The hierarchy may be stored in the routes themselves. Perhaps nature does not only ask whether two states can connect, perhaps it asks how many admissible steps are required to get there. There is a scientific cost to this level of rigor. The easy three-state reduction had to be entirely retired, and the attractive early claims that mapped these modes directly to fermion masses were dismantled. Stripping away those false assumptions traded an elegant approximation for a resilient geometric structure. The theory is now armored by exact symmetry, rather than relying on simple mathematical shortcuts. Sometimes, the long way around is the only mathematically legal path. The route depth becomes the hierarchy.